What up? It's Jimmy from odds.com. This is a clip from the big NHL show. If you want to check out the entire show, hit the link on the bottom of the page. It's available exclusively on odds.com. We move on to my final game on the card. 8 p.m. Eastern, Arizona Coyotes, 3-5-1, 0-3-0 on the road. This team is easy to play against small forwards, not a lot of heart. Their toughest guy is their coach, Rick Tocchet. You're going to see this team lose on the road on a consistent basis. At the St. Louis Blues, I am going to move on this over 5.5 at plus 115. It took me a while to understand that these over 5.5s should be bet against any team playing the Blues. The Coyotes played 2 very low-scoring games against the Ducks. The Blues are a very different team than they are last year. And this Coyotes team sort of plays the style of whoever they're playing against. And this Blues team is going to score. And you're going to get a plus 115 on the 5.5. That is juicy. Juicy to the extent that it's a must bet. We're at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm also going to take a close look and see what the Blues team total over is. Again, if I can get a nice spot when I turn it into a 3, I'll be betting it. And by turning it into a 3, my book only has 2.5, 3.5, and so on. It's the same way that we build the -1 line. There's no difference. You just use the same calculator and you build it into the 3. Darcy Kemper in net for these Coyotes is what we expect. 2-5-1 on the year, 2.65 goals against average, 905 save percentage, 0 shutouts. And he's having a tougher time defensively. And he will, because Oliver Ekman-Larsson's been hurt. He's a very important defender for these Coyotes, and he's going to be back quite soon. He could even be back for this game, but I don't expect him to be, but he could be. Jordan Binnington, 6-1-1, 2.55 goals against average, 917 save percentage, no shutouts. Coyotes power play, 20.6%. Looks pretty good. Got Fat Phil Kessel out there. They're playing nice, and their defense has always been nice offensively. Their penalty killing, 82.4%. That's coaching. And you need to have you have to have key players. The Blues are a very interesting squad. And I think the market is way off on how offensive they are. Their power play has been terrible, 12.5%. 12.5%. Their penalty killing has been terrible at 69.5%. And yet they're 7-2-1. What happens if this special teams gets rolling? Well, they're going to win a lot of games. I'm not that high on them, and I'm certainly not that high on them as a big favorite. So I won't be betting them here. But for offense, this team has changed so much, and we'll get into that. But let's start with the Coyotes. These teams met in the 4-3 St. Louis Blues win on Tuesday night. The Coyotes play hard. They outshot the Blues 35-29. They lost the face-off battle with 33-26. They played hard, but they're so small. I mean, I was watching this game and I was like, man, these Coyotes are playing hard, and it's a non-issue. That's how soft this hockey team is. Christian Dvorak continued his strong play, 4th and 5th goals of the year. He's got a point a game so far this year. The Coyotes are not built to play conservative hockey, and Tocchet has them playing a conservative system, and I get it. I get that he's doing that. I can understand. I imagine that almost all coaches will probably set a precedent of a conservative system and then start allowing their star players to open it up a little more as the season goes on. But if you look at this lineup, it's all offensive forwards. I mean, their top 9 is all offensive forwards. Their centermen are a weak group. This team has to score to be in games. Again, they played in those low-scoring games against the Ducks, but that's not a sign exactly to me of what the Coyotes are going to be. This St. Louis Blues are so different than we remember them. So much more offense. They average 3.07 goals per game, but that's going up quickly, and the market hasn't caught up. They're on a 4-game winning streak right now where they've averaged 4.75 goals per game. Toronto boy and former Sarnia Sting star Jordan Kyrou has been excellent. Who would have thunk that this 2016, I believe he was a 3rd-round pick in 2016 draft, would be this awesome? I mean, the Blues had been expecting Robert Thomas, their 1st-round pick from, I want to say 2018, but they were expecting him, and he wasn't an early pick, but they were expecting him to be that offensive star moving forward for them. He's got 5 assists on the year, no goals. That's in 10 games. I don't see it from him, but Jordan Kyrou is their first line, their top scoring centering their first line right now. It's pretty exciting for the kid. He's playing very well. Adding him and Hoffman to this lineup has been a huge boost for them offensively, but it's not just that. It's you exchange Krug for Pietrangelo, and I know they weren't traded for each other. Krug was signed, and Pietrangelo was let go and not re-signed. But that's a small. Krug is a smart defender, and you have to be very smart when you're a small defender. But he's very different than Pietrangelo, and Krug makes those outlet passes a thing of beauty. And maybe they thought Parayko was now better than Pietrangelo and let him go. But you make these moves, and now you've got this offensive St. Louis Blues team, and the market's not reading them as such. And they will soon. Hammer these overs, because the market will catch up and we won't have value. A 5.5 at plus money, I mean, that's something that we can only take advantage of because it's early in the year. It won't last. And I might move, and when I said there's 6 plays, maybe 7, is I may move on that Blues team total over.